Woohoo! You can't have a rum and coke without your sunglasses. Hello everybody! Woohoo! I've got my sunglasses on because I'm ready for a summery drink. So today's episode is requested and inspired by my dad. So his favorite drink is a rum and coke, but he decided to give up alcohol for a while, so he asked me if I could make him a mocktail version of a rum and coke. So that's what I'm doing today. It's basically your summer version of a Cuba Libre or a rum and coke, but it's gonna be really simple. It's just a little prep work first. So the whole concept behind how we can make a mocktail rum and coke is to have basically an imitation rum simple syrup. And then once you have the imitation rum simple syrup made, you could pour yourself a rum and coke in like 2 seconds. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is make the simple syrup. So I have a bunch of different spices that we're going to use, and we are going to start with some allspice, and we're going to just do 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, not too much. And then I have fresh cardamom, 1 cardamom pod, and then I have black peppercorns. So I'm going to do about, anywhere from 2 to 5 of these. I'm just gonna drop in 3. And then we're gonna add in 1/2 of a cinnamon stick. So I already have one broken in half here. We're just gonna drop it in. Okay. And just because I really like cinnamon and I want to have some of the cinnamon left over in the simple syrup at the end, I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit as well. And then for funsies, for flavor dynamics, I'm just going to do a pinch of ginger, just a pinch. And next we have nutmeg. So I have a whole nutmeg here, and I'm going to use freshly grated nutmeg. So you can see my nutmeg right here. And we don't need a lot. We just need about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So that's about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Next, we're going to add 1/2 of a star anise. So I think these are really fun because they look like little stars. So all I'm gonna do here is, you see I have a whole one, and I'm just gonna break off the little stars. About 4 pieces. All right. Then I have a vanilla bean. So a whole vanilla bean. I had a whole vanilla bean, cut it in half. So this is the little 1/2 of a fresh vanilla bean. And in order to make sure we get all of the flavor out of it, I'm going to slice it in half. It's actually really cool to see the inside of a vanilla bean. So, oh, it smells so good. So, oh, the little beans are on my fingers already. So I'm just gonna plop that vanilla bean in there. Next, we're gonna put 2 orange peels in. And you could do 2 to 4. Since I'm making this for my dad, I don't want it to be overpowering with the orange. So I'm just going to do 2. And you want to make sure when you slice it, you don't have any, if you can help it, of the white pith, but I barely have any. So this is going to be totally fine. So 2 large orange peels. There we go. Squeeze the oils out first. So just give it a twist like you would if you were garnishing a drink with it. And then you can plop it in. Next, we're going to add in some extracts. So again, since I'm making this for my dad, he really likes vanilla. We're gonna do a whole teaspoon of vanilla. So, we'll give it a really nice caramel color too, just like a real spiced rum. Then I also have imitation rum extract. There's just something about a rum that has a uniquely rummy flavor, kind of like, if you've ever had a rum cake. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It just smells like rum. So The next thing is going to be a half a teaspoon of rum extract. This is also really common to use in cooking recipes if you don't have rum or don't want to use rum, but you need the flavor of rum. So a little bit of rum extract just for a little oomph in there. We have everything that we need for the spice mixture, and I'm waiting for my water to boil over here. So basically I have a mason jar full of water getting ready to boil, and we're just gonna pour it in and let it soak. One thing that I will say is, so this is actually my third time making this recipe. The first one turned out really good, and the second one I tried to get fancier with it and I totally messed it up. Don't use cloves. So maybe if you were making an actual spiced rum at home, using cloves would be fine if you were going to put it in alcohol, but with the mixture that I've made, when I used cloves in the second batch, it was so bitter. The cloves were totally overpowering, even though I only used like 1/4 of a teaspoon. So it's way better without the cloves. You don't need the cloves. While we wait for our water to boil, we can do a little bit of garnish prep. So again, I told you I'm gonna make this kind of like a spiced rum Cuba Libre, whatever. So I am going to try and get a big peel of lime. Okay, so I got a really big lime peel, and I'm going to use that for my final garnish. And now I'm going to juice this. Okay, so my water is boiling. I'm just going to very carefully pour it in. Woo! And halfway through, I'm going to stir it just to make sure I can have some space to stir it before I fill it all the way up. Oh, wow, I can already smell the oranges coming right off of that. It smells so good. And, oh, and the cinnamon and the spices. Ooh, it smells delicious. Very excited. The next step in this process is a little bit of patience. So now that we have our spice mixture infusing, I am going to leave it on the counter until it cools off, and then I'll put the cap on it and put it in the fridge for about 24 hours to 48 hours, and I'll probably give it a shake every once in a while just to make sure everything in there is really getting infused with the water. Okay, so flash forward to this is the first draft that I made, which was basically the same as this one. And once you have your mixture at your desired flavor profile, you're going to strain out the extra stuff in there. So let's just imagine I strained out, you know, the orange peels, the vanilla bean, the cinnamon sticks. And then you're going to do actually a 2-to-1 ratio. 3 ounces of your spiced mixture to 1.5 ounces of sugar, basically a 2-to-1. So to demonstrate, I have about a shot glass of sugar right here. So I'm gonna dump that in. And then going to pour, that's the first one. And this is the second part. I'd also recommend shaking this before you pour it in, because there's probably going to be some cinnamon, some of your spices left over in there that didn't get strained out, and that's totally fine. So then you're going to mix this and reheat it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. This will allow the sugar to really dissolve so the whole mixture can really blend together. That is what this is. So now we're gonna build the drink. The first thing you wanna do is grab your glass and some ice. All right. And then we're gonna make the drink right in the glass. So first thing I'm gonna do is add some cola. Fill it about halfway up, and then In a normal rum and coke, I would usually do about 1.5 ounces of rum. So that's what I'm gonna do, but with my imitation spiced rum simple syrup. So basically my spiced rum simple syrup. And let's see, we have 1.5 ounces. I'll add that right in. And then just about a splash of lime juice, like as if you were just to do a little squeeze of lime. So just adding a drop in there, a few drops, and then top it off with some more Coca-Cola. And we can stir it right in the glass. Okay. Last but not least, I love a pretty drink, and a pretty drink always has a garnish. So we have our lime peel here, and I'm just gonna squeeze it to release some of the oils, give it a little twist, and then, to be fun, I'm going to twist it over my straw, just like that, and plop it in the drink. There you go. Let's see. Oh, that's so good. It really does taste just like a spiced rum and coke. It's so good. My dad is going to love this. I can't wait for him to try it. Yeah, so it's obviously the Coca-Cola, but I taste a really nice sweet balance of the spices, the vanilla, the little bit of lime juice in there is all you need. It's just a hint of lime, the cinnamon, yeah, nutmeg, all of it. It's so good. Oh, I love it. Who needs alcohol? We don't need alcohol all the time, just sometimes. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. This is your dad's alcohol-free rum and coke. Cheers! I almost forgot. You can't have a rum and coke without your sunglasses. So, cheers.